"We can't stay here," I yelled to Estrada. "We've got to get into those ruins for cover." Estrada shook his head. "It could be a trap," he yelled. "It could be booby-trapped or another ambush." I studied the ruins, then made up my mind. "Okay, I'll go check it out. When I wave you in, mount up the Humvees and bring them in." "That's got to be 100 yards at least. You'll never make it." I nodded dumbly, then gave Estrada a sardonic smile. "We've got to try something. Give me suppressive fire." As Estrada and the others opened up, I launched myself to my feet and with my head down and body crouched ran toward the ruins. Bullets kicked up sand around my feet. Mortar shells splattered me with earth and rocks, but I kept going. Finally, my lungs like clenched fists inside my chest, I dove through the gaping gate, rolled behind the wall, and sat up. "I'm really too old for this shit," I muttered to myself, then brought my M4 up and looked around. I saw no one. The ruins were empty of both people and structures. What once had been mighty walls were now eroded relics, humbled by time and wind. To my left, a pile of rubble rose from what probably had been a building of some kind. I got to my knees and started scattering the dirt with my hands, looking for wires or anything else that could reveal an improvised explosive device. I found nothing but sand. Waiting a moment until the firing subsided, I leaped into the gap in the wall and waved to Estrada, yelling, "Come on!" Bullets started kicking up dirt around my legs again, and I dove for the safety of the wall. Thomas opened up with his saw, providing cover fire as Estrada and Oberg threw the dead soldiers into the back of their Humvee and mounted up. Moments later, the two surviving Humvees roared into the ruins. The soldiers rolled out and scrambled to take defensive positions at the walls. Thomas calmly dismounted his saw and climbed out of the vehicle, set the weapon up on the wall, and began firing again. I mounted the wall next to Thomas and surveyed the scene. In the distance, insurgents moved forward in small groups, one group laying down cover fire while the others advanced. They were already nearly to the destroyed Humvee. These were no ordinary militia. These were well-disciplined fighters, probably foreign-trained. Turning, I looked over our position. There was a weakness here. I saw it, and so did Estrada. I yelled at the sergeant, "We need to get a Humvee to block that gap." Estrada nodded and dashed to the nearest vehicle. It wouldn't start. He ran to the command vehicle, but it wouldn't start either. I climbed down from the wall, and together we pushed the first Humvee into the gap that had once been a gate, then hunkered behind it. In a minute, the firing stopped. Silence swelled within the ruins. "Hey, Captain, they're falling back," yelled Thomas. Estrada and I cautiously raised our heads above the hood of the Humvee and watched the dark-clad figures walking slowly away. Already out of range, they were in no hurry. We looked at each other with quizzical expressions, then turned our backs on the vehicle and slid to the ground, exhausted.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.